Hello and welcome, my unhungry caterpillars. How you doing this wonderful day? It's Super John Bombo here, and I have to tell you guys something really kind of terrible about myself. This is hard for me to admit, but there has been something that I was so unbelievably wrong about that it almost hurts my soul. If you guys don't know, one of the best towers in the game, I think most people can agree, is the Alchemist. Alright, more specifically, the 3rd tier and 4th tier Alchemist. It's one of the most important towers in the entire game because it buffs your other towers. And not just like a little bit, like a village, 10% speed buff or something like that. Now, we're talking about a significant amount of popping power. 2 times, 3 times, sometimes even more than that in total popping power. And that is just straight up ridiculous. But when I first started playing Bloons Tower Defense 6, I said something terrible. Before I tell you guys exactly what I said, if you guys want to press that like button for me, if you want to subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic, and I would love you so much. I already love you guys, but I love you even more, alright? Just a smidge more. I was making my first ever Alchemist video in Bloons Tower Defense 6. I was talking about the Druid and how I enjoyed the Druid. I thought he was a fun little addition to the team. And I was talking about the Alchemist. And believe it or not, I said, I don't like the Alchemist. I think he's a bad tower. And I don't think you should use him.
Feel the sun's power.
Can you believe that I said that? Can you believe that I said that? I still feel bad about it to this day. So what I want to do is I want to redeem myself for you guys. I want to redeem us all. And I want to talk about the Alchemist, the Top Path Alchemist, and what the heck you should do with him. And I think the number one thing to do is just to read the effect really quick. Acidic Mixture Dip, first of all, is actually a pretty good bonus. It allows nearby monkeys to pop lead balloons and do extra damage to ceramic and Moab class balloons. Ceramic and Moab class balloons are the strongest balloons in the game, so usually you want to take those down faster, and that's why a lowly cost of $420 for Acidic Mixture Dip can be awesome, but it doesn't last very long, and that's a major issue. Berserker Brew gives monkeys extra damage. That means taking 2 layers off of a balloon instead of 1. Range and attack speed, and it lasts longer. All amazing things. And last but not least, Stronger Stim, which is basically exactly Berserker Brew, but even stronger. Alright, so that means more damage, more range, and more attack speed. All of those things are amazing. So, what towers should we be using this on? Well, as a general rule, the more projectiles it has, and the mediumer it shoots, the better you're going to be. When I say the mediumer it shoots, you want it to be a reasonably fast shooting tower, but not extremely fast. So what we're going to do, and if you can have more damage, this is even better. So we're going to do something really weird here, guys. We're going to get a... Oh, I don't have any camera detection yet. There it is. We're going to get an even more tax. Times 2 more projectiles. And then we're going to make him shoot faster. And what this is going to allow us to do is have all of our projectiles do extra damage right now. Alright, and we got that extra range, and we got that extra attack speed. That is delicious. Now, if we go all the way up, if we can get our awesome lead popping power and everything, it'd be cool if we got it for around 28, but we got a door back here just in case. And Acidic Mixture Dip, by the way. But now that we have hot shots, we're doing double damage and even more damage than that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we do 3 damage per shot. If you kind of see when these guys hit, we're knocking these yellows down into reds over here. Freaking ridiculous, dude. That is amazing. So let's get 2 of them. All right, let's get an even more tax. Hot shots textured over here. And you're going to see the absolute demolition of these balloons up in here. We're talking about round 34, a pretty beefy round. We're talking about 35. It's got rainbow balloons in it already. The first rainbow balloons in the entire game. Check these guys out. They're just melted, man. Pinks. Rainbows down to pinks. We're skipping that zebra layer. We're skipping that black layer. We're just rocking these guys. And keep in mind, we've only got a 3rd tier Berserker Brew. We don't have a stronger stim yet. Now that is extra juicy for us here. Now, one other tower that is not talked about all that often, like at all, and is actually pretty decent to alchemize, is going to be your Super Monkey. All right, we're talking about just a low-tier Super Monkey. If you're talking about a long-term delicious Super Monkey, probably not. But for now, we're going to get a Super Monkey, and we're going to get the super range on this guy. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But what I want you to notice is that our darts are going through the Moab. All right? Which means we've got more than one pierce. So it's kind of important to understand damage versus pierce, right? Damage is how many layers you're going to go through. A zebra popping straight into, like, a green balloon would be a lot of damage. But most towers don't always do that. More often than not, a single dart might go through multiple balloons. So a powerful dart doesn't just pop a zebra down into a yellow or something like that. Instead, it just can pop 3 different zebras down into black and whites. So there's a difference between pierce and damage. That's really important to understand, I guess. But most of the time, alchemists are adding damage up in here. That's why, again, you want to get more projectiles if possible and kind of just combine that all together. So we go. This is my weirdo alchemist Quadroco or something like that. I don't know what I want to call it. It's pretty good so far. Really look at the amount of money that I spent on my towers compared to my alchemist, though. It's actually kind of weird. I really didn't spend that much money on this guy. I don't even have a 4th tier ninja yet. I bought my hero, and I have a kind of weird super monkey over here, which is gooftastic. But I did spend quite a significant amount of money on alchemists. We're going all the way up to stronger stim here on this guy, and the same thing with this other guy here. So I guess while we're here, let's talk about the cross paths real quick. There is 2 cross paths that you can use for your alchemist that can both be viable ways to use them. And if you're unsure, buy anything and just assume that it's going to be better, okay? But you should buy the cross paths. And this is kind of important, okay? You can either get the stronger acid, which doesn't really do much. It just means the balloons get dissolved faster. But perishing potions. All right, and this guy will allow you to strengthen your brews and your stimulants. That's the main thing. Right at the bottom down there, strengthens, brews, and stimulants. All right, let's make sure we get this blue jitsu here. Holy crap, monkeys, man. I don't have any camo detection yet. Or, yeah, let's buy this one. But it also allows your regular attack to deal more damage to Moab class balloons and strip fortified off of the smaller balloons. That's pretty awesome. Stripping fortified layers is pretty sweet, in my opinion. Or you can go for this upgrade, which is the faster throwing upgrade. And this is going to allow you to faster throw your potions or your stimulants onto the people around you. So the general idea is if you're trying to alchemize just maybe 2 guys, reasonably fast shooting guys, you probably want to go perishing potions. If you're trying to alchemize 3 different towers, you probably want to go for the faster throwing. Alright, it doesn't mean it's going to alchemize 3 of these guys, but you have a better chance of doing it. So let's just get a combo for today. And then the acid pool doesn't really do anything, but if you want to get the acid pool, or as far as stims go, it does not do anything. But if you want to get the acid pool, you can get a little extra popping power by throwing these guys on the screen down here. So kind of just check out my popping power right now. I really didn't build that much stuff, just to be straight with you. I built things that were alchemized well, and you can tell that that alchemy is doing tons of damage. And the one main thing that I tried to do was I tried to build the towers that work really well as low-tier towers or cheaper towers, things you can afford in the early game, for now, without causing too many issues. But now I'm going to start to build some of the medium-tier towers, and you're going to see how much extra damage we can do with them when they're alchemized. But before we get there, let's just do our thing here. We're going to buy a village, and we're going to get him finally up to camo detection.
Well done.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, there we go. Now we got our village going. Villages do not get harmed by alchemists whatsoever, but they can be buffed by them to make them shoot even faster. So if you want to get more buffs out, I would recommend a village in the range of every single one of your alchemists almost every single time. It's just another way to buff all your towers and make your towers that are already existing do more stuff. So I just wanted to mention the Super Monkey really quick again. This is not one of those towers that I'm going to fully recommend to you guys, but it is new and interesting and a different change to the game that I wanted to just mention really quick here. The Super Range Super Monkey now gives you an extra pierce. So, yeah, like I said, you can go through a Moab, or you can pop 2 balloons per shot instead of 1. The 0-0 Super Monkey has 1 pierce. The 0-1 Super Monkey has 2 pierce. So we can literally double it just by doing that. As far as alchemy goes, yes, they can be buffed by the Alchemists, and yes, it can be okay, but because he's a pretty fast shooting tower, we're going to get a little less awesomeness out of our buffs over here, kind of overall. Ooh, look at that. We just got to start building some more stuff over here, guys. $20,000. What are we going to do with it all? Well, of course, we're going to alchemize some stuff. So, let's first of all use Adora's ability, and we're going to go for a pretty nice level mortar here. All right, we're going to go for a medium shooting, a good pierce tower over here, like a balloon buster. And of course, what are we going to do? We're going to alchemize them, guys. So I usually like to use one alchemist for every 2 towers personally, and I almost always get my perishing potions. That's kind of my go-to strategy, and you can tell it's working phenomenally. All right, check this out. We have been spending a lot of our money, but keep in mind that we are playing on Impoppable right now, so all of our money is actually worth less, basically. And that was 2 BFBs getting to this little tiny section right here and getting obliterated. I would say we're doing fantastic right now. 0 issues whatsoever. So because this is not chimps, I have the ability to do cool things like this. My Super Monkey, he's okay, but I don't want to use him anymore. Alright, he's doing a decent job. He's aight. He's still popping balloons. In fact, he's probably got some of the most pops out of all of my towers in existence at this point. Adora's got 35,000. My Super Monkey's got 39,000. Even my new artillery battery, though, doesn't have that much money, or doesn't have that much pops yet. But look at that count. Whew, going up strong here. But I think I can be more effective with my money, especially in the long run, and I want to show off towers that are really, really good with Alchemists. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell this guy, and we're going to show off another really interesting combo of towers here. We're going to go for a village. We're going to put him over here. I'm going to get the jungle drums on this guy. I'm going to go for a destroyer. All right, we're going to go for a really quick destroyer here. We're going to go for the hot shot and grape shot combo with that guy, and we're going to get our alchemist on him. Now, this guy is going to get, again, pretty much super buffed by our alchemist right here, but by himself, he actually isn't that strong. All right, by himself, he isn't that strong, but with the alchemist, he becomes one of the best towers in the entire history of the world. Sadly, we're so good right now, and this is, again, just mildly sad. Blues don't really even make it to our destroyer friend down here. So we don't even really get to show off his popping power because we're too good, I guess. But at least he's there for some safety net action. But what I wanted to do is I want to show you guys 2 other towers that I think people don't alchemize enough. All right, and they're both going to be Dartling guns. All right, we're going to get 2 of these guys next to each other. We still want to have them be inside of the range of this village if at all possible. And we're going to go for a top path laser cannon. And we're going to go for the middle path faster barrel spin. And we're going to go for a middle path Hydra rocket pods. But could go either way on this guy, but I like the powerful dart just a little bit better. And the idea is that this alchemist down here is going to fully alchemize these 2 guys as much as we possibly can and try to alchemize this destroyer. If he can't alchemize enough, one thing to keep in mind is that maybe you should consider putting another alchemist next to you guys. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not getting enough alchemy. Guess what? We do another one. And we throw down another stronger stim with perishing potions over here. Absolutely delicious. Now we're already in free play. And I haven't even built any 5th tier towers. I've only built towers that I'm going to be alchemizing and alchemizing really well. And as you can tell, things are going pretty well right now. All right, there's one other tower that I think that you guys should keep in mind when you're doing your alchemists. Usually 5th tier towers and stuff, you can alchemize them, but they're not necessarily the best towers to alchemize at that point, because usually they shoot really, really fast, or the alchemist just kind of wears off and it isn't really worth as much. Just because the 5th tier towers are already so strong, that smidge of extra damage or a smidge of extra range usually doesn't do that much. I'm not saying it's worthless by any means, and you should probably still alchemize a lot of your 5th tier towers, but it's not like the bulk force of our popping power anymore. It's not a necessity. But the early game, the alchemists are pretty much a necessity if you want to do very good things and very strong things. But the other tower that I would still recommend that you alchemize, even though it's sort of a mid-tier tower, is going to be a wizard up to top path. So we're going to go with Arcane Spike, and we're going to get that Intense Magic, and we're going to just go for that Monkey Sense. Could go middle path as well, but I just kind of like this guy. That's what we're going to chill with. All right, to be honest with you guys, I don't know how 90 is going to go. I like to think that I've got enough here. I've got a Dora, and I've got my Wizard over here, and those are two pretty good towers against CDTs, on top of some other just kind of random towers. I mean, these guys aren't bad against CDTs. They still have a bunch of little piercy damage and stuff like that. Got camo and lead popping power, and they're alchemized. Don't forget about that action. But this is about the time where you got to start thinking, okay, I can't rely on Alchemists for everything. I should probably get a 5th tier tower of some kind. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Be my guest. That is fine. Let's do that. Look at this bad timing right here. We got $37,300. I need $38,400 for this DDT popping power. So, for the Archmage. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to kill these DDTs as fast as possible. Upgrade to an Archmage, if possible. We're about $500 off now. And we'll see if we can pop these guys easily. Whoop. Archmage. Oh yeah, once he pops out, DDTs are nothing to us. So to be honest, I really didn't touch too much on the other two Alchemists, other two paths of Alchemist at all, up to 3rd tier. You've got either the Unstable Concoction, which is going to allow you to pop or explode any Moab class balloons that you do end up hitting with this stuff. This purple goo will eventually explode, do some extra damage to kind of everything around it when it pops. And honestly, it's really not bad at all. Very good upgrade, very pretty much important for round 98 in particular, but any late game round, 81 plus, this guy's probably worth it to get. As far as bottom path goes, though, it's a bit of a weird one. Lead to gold and rubber to gold, I would still recommend if you're not playing chimps. Pretty much every single time, I personally would buy them. I don't think there's a reason not to. All right? It's going to make you extra money. It's going to make you your money back, plus some, and pop balloons. In that scenario, and it's not that expensive. In that scenario, I would say 100% of the time, that's what you need to do, guys. Get a rubber to gold, at very least lead to gold before round 28. You're going to make your money back in like 3 rounds. It's like, it's freaking ridiculous. Why wouldn't you do that? So get that guy, and then if you want to, get rubber to gold before round 40 something. Probably it's probably a good idea here, and you're going to be absolutely golden. All right, make you extra cash, do extra damage, extra pops, but beyond that, getting a Balloon Master Alchemist is one of those really weird things that like you really shouldn't do all that often. Just to be straight with you, it's weird. It doesn't work that well, but it's something that you could do if you really wanted to. Anyways, the Alchemist strategy is not something where you should normally build 5, 6, 7 Alchemists, but it goes to show you that it's still a possibility for us. We can do this really weird stuff and still somehow manage to pop all these guys and win Impoppable on a pretty decently difficult map here. Pretty awesome. And we are the Pop Master! Look at that. Actually, Adora got the most pops out of anybody with almost 500,000, and it's all thanks to our Alchemist. So the last thing I want to touch on really quick before we leave you guys off here is that the Alchemist is also very good on heroes. Etienne, no. Not good on Etienne. Pretty much everybody else they're going to be pretty good at. Obviously not Ben. Definitely Sauda. Definitely Adora. Definitely Pat. And a few of these guys as well are pretty good too. So, and Captain Churchill. Fantastic for the Alchemist. Middle tier, medium shooting tower. Exactly what you want to see. So, alchemize almost all of your heroes, guys. It's going to be worth it for you. 4-2-0 on them with an extra tower, and beautifully, 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 you will destroy the balloons. Thanks so much for watching, and have a super duper delicious day.